Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the New Jersey Devils traveled to Los Angeles to take on the Kings after that painful New Year's Eve loss to the Anaheim Ducks. And sure enough, the New Jersey Devils fall once again in a painful one, losing by a score of 3-0 to the Los Angeles Kings. And the Devils are officially on a 3-game losing streak, having been shut out now 6 times through the exact halfway point of the season. Wow. Wow, oh wow. 3-game losing streak, bad enough. To lose in another shutout, the 6th one of the season. They're now on pace for 12 shutouts over the course of 1 year. I mean, that is mind-boggling stuff. Never saw it coming, and this was a really painful one. We'll get to the game. Pretty decent first period. Both teams had chances. Oh, I should preface with Jakeallen in net, as we all predicted. Tatar back in the lineup. McDermott out. And decent first period. Good chances both ways. Jakeallen looked solid early, as did Darcy Kemper for the Kings. Devils with 14 shots in the first period. Kings with 8. No goals in the first period. Exchanged some chances. We go to the second period, 0-0. And at 6:23... Spence for the Kings flips the puck from the D-zone with a little bit of a Hail Mary touchdown type lob over the middle. Andre Lee wins the race. He comes in all alone on Allen. Brett Pesce has a last-second chance to make a play on the puck, but he misses with the stick check, and Lee buries it past Jakeallen for his first NHL goal at 6:23, giving the Kings the 1-0 lead. And at this point, I was already extremely frustrated. It was one of those games where the Devils are getting pretty good chances. We're making another goal. He looked like, a Hall of Famer in the making. And it's just one of those painful nights. But Andre Lee gives them the 1-0 lead at 6:23. About a minute and a half later at 7:54, Timo Meier ties it up at 1. Or does he? Great goal, by the way. Timo Meier, just being a bull down low, does a great spin move and just sweeps the puck into the net. I was freaking out at home watching it. And then sure enough, we hear, oh, wait, they're going to challenge it. Oh, there's a challenge. Maybe there's something going on. And I was like, oh, boy. I immediately got that pit in my stomach. As you all know, officiating has not been kind to the New Jersey Devils, and I think that's putting it extremely mildly. And we've been on the short end of a lot of calls and non-calls in the past few weeks and really all season long. But sure enough, they show the replay on the MSG broadcast. And when I see the replay, I am ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, this is definitely going to stand. And because the Kings challenged, not only is the game going to be tied, we're going to go on the power play. I'm jacked up when I see the replay for the first time. I'm like, there's no way this is legitimate goaltender interference. Noesen barely touches him, and there was a bump by a King player right before. I was like, this has got to stand. We're going on the power play. This is awesome. And after what seemed like forever, it was probably 2 minutes or so of real time, of the refs on the little phones calling Toronto and the call center, whatever the hell they're doing there. And sure enough, they waved the goal off. I am in complete disbelief. This is just another egregious crime against your New Jersey Devils. Officiating has been awful all season long, and it needs to get better. I mean, this is why a lot of people don't even care to watch hockey anymore. I mean, what are we talking about? There is no consistency. The league with these types of calls is consistently inconsistent. That is basically what's going on with these goaltender interference calls. Complete nonsense. I may feel compelled to do a whole video on that alone. But absolutely terrible break for the Devils. What looked like was going to be a tie game. The goal gets waved off. And I think, unfortunately, it was a very deflating momentum swing for the Devils. Obviously, you'd like them to just brush it off and keep attacking and get another one. But the way the game was playing out, I wasn't very hopeful. I was deflated myself. Again, hoping for the best. But once that got waved off, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Not only is Kemper playing out of his mind, now when we finally get a goal, you find a way to take it away from us. Terrible, terrible. Second period ends. Kings still up 1-0. We go to the third. And at 11:01, Kings moving the puck. Byfield comes flying out of the box. He drives the net. Deneau finds him. He's in all alone, and he gets off a quick little shot. Beats Jakeallen at 11:01, giving the Kings the 2-0 lead. And at that point, I'm always going to hold out a sliver of hope. But at that point, I was like, that's the death blow. Just under 9 minutes left. The way Kemper's been playing just didn't feel good. And then down the stretch, we had a couple chances, nothing crazy. Kemper was seeing everything, and then Sheldon Keefe decided to pull Jake Allen super early, and Adrian Kempe puts one in the empty net at 15:35 to give the Kings the 3-0 lead. That's how the game ended, and that's all she wrote. And a terrible loss. A terrible, terrible loss. Obviously, the Kings are a very good team, so it's not like another loss to a bad team. But knowing the stakes coming off a 2-game losing streak, to lose the third, it really stings, and this road trip is not off to a good start. The calendar year 2025 is not off to a good start, and it just left a gross feeling, honestly. Just felt very disgusted after the game, and especially, like I said, with the Timo Meier goal being waved off for nonsensical goaltender interference on Stefan Noesen. Had that goal counted, I think the rest of the game plays out extremely differently. The game would be tied 1-1. The Kings wouldn't be able to sit back as much as they were. They'd have to open up a little bit more, and who knows what could have happened. Now, this one I'm not going to blame solely on the refs, but I'm going to say the refs were massively contributory in this loss, because if the game is tied, at the halfway point, like at that juncture 1-1, anything could happen. But that's not what happened, and the game played out the way it did. We go to the game stats. Devils 33 shots on goal, Kings with 24 shots on goal. Devils owning the faceoff circle, 62.5% to the Kings 37.5%. Devils 0 for 6 on the power play, and the Kings 0 for 3 on the power play. 0 for 6 on the power play, completely unacceptable, disgusting, wretched, cannot happen. Cannot happen. I will say the power play was a massive fail, obviously, but you look at games like this and you say the power play, even if you had scored 1 goal, 1 out of 6 is still terrible. That's under 17%. Still not acceptable for this group. But 1 out of 6 you could live with. Again, not good, but you could live with it. 0 out of 6. 0 for 6. Completely unacceptable, especially with the forwards we have. They had some chances, couldn't bury any. 0 for 6, not going to get it done. You could say that the power play lost this game as well. The power play's failure in conjunction with the horrible officiating or the horrible Toronto crew, whatever you want to call it, insurmountable. But 0 for 6 on the power play, that just cannot happen with the group of forwards we have. Devils 23 hits, Kings with 15 hits. Devils 14 block shots, Kings with 20 block shots. Devils 8 giveaways, Kings 12 giveaways. Devils 3 takeaways, Kings 2 takeaways. 0 for 6 is just gross. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, the power plays failures lost us the game. And another one of those nights where, with the bottom 6 scoring not really being there, you shut down the top 2 lines, and the Devils' offense is done. A lot of people have been voicing their concerns over the lack of scoring from the bottom 6. And while I think it's an issue, that could be potentially fixed with a couple trades or some call-ups from Utica, I don't think one guy is going to dramatically fix it. And I do like the third line. I do like Haula, Mercer, Cotter. I think they are a very good line, high energy. They had some good shifts, some good ozone time, some puck possession. I like them. I really do. I think it's a matter of time before they get going. I believe they will score goals. I'm more concerned with the fourth line specifically. And I think maybe it's time to try 2 Utica kids on the wing with Laser on the fourth line. I mean, I'd like to see a unit of Laser, maybe Hallinan and Legary, or some combination like that. But I thought Nathan Legary looked amazing for the couple games he was up here a couple weeks ago. Then Bastian and Lazar came back from injury. He got the boot back to Utica. But I thought he played really well. And Sheldon Keefe sang his praises after one of the games and said that he liked what he brought. And so maybe it's worth bringing him back. I would like to see Hallinan. We still haven't seen him, despite all the other many call-ups we've seen so far this season. But they got to figure it out, because the bottom 6 has got to score once in a while. I'm not counting on them to be some offensive juggernaut, but it's basically been just non-existent. And that's going to be hard, because like I said, when you shut down the top 2 lines, when the Nico and Jack lines aren't going, you're in for a long night. And especially when the power play goes ice cold. A lot of times, the offense as a whole was struggling in games, but we'd get bailed out by the power play. When you go 0 for 6 on the power play and the bottom 6 isn't scoring and your top 2 are getting shut down, where do you go? You have nothing. You have nothing, and we see a goal drought. And here we are again, shut out 6 times in 41 games. That is beyond unacceptable. I would have never thought going into the season that the Devils would get shut out 6 times the whole year. And the fact that they got shut out 6 times at the exact halfway point, it's mind-blowing. I can't fathom it whatsoever, and it is just one of those wild things. Like, how could a team that has so much potential with these forwards get shut out so often? It really is wild. But hopefully, Fitz in the upcoming weeks analyzes what's out there, maybe makes a tweak to bring in a middle 6, a bottom 6 type guy. But something's got to give in the bottom 6. And for me specifically, when I say bottom 6, I really do like that third line. So I do think the fourth line really is where the attention should be paid to. But, in games like tonight, you got to look at the top 6 as well. The big guns got to get it done. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And superstars got to be superstars. And tonight, they had their chances, but they couldn't bury them. And I'm tired of talking about or everyone else talking about how we got goal lead, this, that, and the other thing. Goal lead is just another way to say you couldn't score goals. I mean, let's call it what it is, right? I mean, yes, Kemper played good, but come on, man. You got to put some pucks in the back of the net. And unfortunately, the only one we did get in the back of the net got waved off because Toronto screwed us. It's really horrible. It sucks that we have to wait a couple days for the next game. I'm sure the boys are itching to get back at it now as well. But the first 3-game losing streak of the season in regulation anyway, no points in the last 3, especially when the first loss in Carolina was largely in part to poor officiating as well. I could sit here and keep bashing the refs. I'm not going to do so. But if you're paying attention to these games and you're watching, you know that we've gotten the short end of the stick so many times. And it's just very frustrating, especially in these tight games. And these games matter. But let me know what you thought about this game in the comments. Let me know what you think about anything I said in this video in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Fitzy's going to make any moves? Do you think some of the guys from Utica should be brought up? Throw it all out there. Anything, everything, New Jersey Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. But the boys better be bringing the Thunder Saturday against the Sharks, because 4 in a row, and now we're facing down the barrel of 4 losses in a row. I mean, wow. I hope the pressure doesn't get to them. And maybe they felt a little bit of it tonight, knowing that the 3-game losing streak was on the line, but 4 games in a row would be close to catastrophic, in my opinion. I mean, for a team this good and the way they performed, especially, in late November and December, 4 in a row is damn near catastrophic territory, in my opinion. Now, I'm not panicking by any stretch. Good and even great teams go through these peaks and valleys over the course of an 82-game season. Very long season, lots of hockey left to be played. You can't win every game. You're going to have some hot streaks. You're going to have some cold streaks, a little bit of everything in between. Got to pick your head up, get back out there, and win the next one. But 3 in a row is tough, and 4 in a row would be super, super painful. Hopefully they come out flying on Saturday against the Sharks and get a big win, because they definitely need it. Luckily, Mackenzie Blackwood is no longer with the San Jose Sharks, so we cannot get shut out by him. And they just got to bring their A-game. Bring their A-game. Hopefully the power play could get going again. And hopefully they could just right the ship, because right now it's just not looking too good. I still believe in the team. It's just one of those rough patches, and they got to get through it. But throw it all out there. I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.